In this video, we're going to discuss how the GOAT, greatest of all time entrepreneur, managed to spend $46.5 billion on a company only to have it be on the verge of bankruptcy in just 1 year. It was just over a year and a half ago that rumors were circulating that Elon wanted to buy Twitter. If one thing is proved true about this guy, it's don't underestimate his willingness to take risks. He invests in businesses that he feels will positively impact humanity, often at the expense of rational financial thinking. Tesla was supposed to help end our addiction to oil, and SpaceX was supposed to reignite our space ambitions and build a rocket that would take us to Mars so we can be a multi-planetary species. When both of these companies started, very few thought they would turn into profitable businesses. His friends even staged an intervention to persuade him not to proceed with SpaceX. Regarding Twitter, according to Elon, I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for functioning democracy. When I heard about him buying Twitter, I was shocked, but I also admired him for trying to preserve free speech. Elon Musk is a guy who flies high and eventually sticks the landing, but maybe he moved too quickly on this one. Here's how it started. In March 2022, he bought a 9.2% stake in the company, making him the biggest shareholder. In April 2022, he offered to buy Twitter at $43 billion, which was a 38% premium above where the price stood a day before his initial investment. In late April 2022, Twitter accepted Musk's offer at a price of $44 billion. After that announcement, for about 6 months, there was a constant back and forth between Twitter and Musk, with each side trying to disparage the other. Elon actually tried to get out of the deal, claiming that the company gave him false and misleading information about user data. Finally, on October 28, 2022, Musk got his prized possession for $44 billion. But in reality, the actual price was $46.5 billion because as part of the purchase, he had to repay Twitter's debts. Fast forward to today, and this $46.5 billion investment may go down as the biggest waste of money ever. Of the $46.5 billion, he came up with about 60% by selling Tesla stock. He then got Morgan Stanley, B of A, and Barclays to lend him $13 billion. He got another $7 billion from Jack Dorsey, Larry Ellison, Sequoia, Fidelity, and Prince Al-Walid. Fortune has estimated that his yearly debt payments have gone up to $1.45 billion, which is more than Twitter ever made in profit over its history by a long shot. In a pitch deck to investors, Musk said he would quintuple Twitter's revenues by 2028, increasing annual earnings to $26.4 billion. Elon has a long history of making bold predictions and always coming up short on timeline, but eventually coming through on the promise, but probably not this time. So how does the GOAT entrepreneur ruin a $46.5 billion company in just over a year? Number one, decimate the staff and kill the morale of the remaining employees. Musk came in and fired 80% of the staff. A lot of the 20% who remained were demoralized, and some had to stay because of their visas. If you have just 20% of your staff and you come in with a bold new agenda, it's no surprise that you'll have trouble executing, and that's exactly what happened. Number two, ruin the user experience. In an attempt to get rid of fake accounts and raise revenue, Elon created the blue ticker verification system. Users would pay $8 a month to get verified in order to get a blue check mark. It turned out to be a total disaster. Number one, people hated it. Number two, as soon as it came out, scammers began to create accounts pretending to be corporate entities or famous people. One scammer came out with a verified account for George W. Bush and sent a tweet saying, "I miss killing Iraqis." Another scammer created a verified account for Tony Blair and responded, "Same, to be honest." Another scammer posed as LeBron James and announced plans to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. On the corporate side, a scammer created an account for Nintendo and shared an image of Mario swearing, and it went viral. Even Tesla was victim. The most famous victim was Eli Lilly. A fake account was created, and a tweet was sent out saying, "We are excited to announce insulin is free now." By the end of the day, the market cap of Eli Lilly had fallen billions of dollars. The message was clear to advertisers after this fiasco. Let's just sit on the sidelines and wait and see if this new company can get its shit in order, and that's exactly what a lot of big-name advertisers did. The other aspect of the user experience that Twitter messed up was the algorithm of interest, which gave you recommended articles, tweets, and people to follow. Also, for the people who use Twitter as a newsfeed, it became almost useless as it often showed irrelevant and outdated tweets and stories. Number three, update the name to something most people feel is better suited for an adult-themed company. I love the name Tesla. I love the name SpaceX. But X just doesn't feel right. I know he has a grand vision of making it into a payment platform, but I don't see it. I'm with the guy on the journey to Mars, but turning X into a payment platform is too much of a stretch for me. Number four, pick a fight with the establishment. This is the decision he made that I loved him for, but I knew he was going to pay a big price. The Twitter files refers to a series of internal documents from Twitter that were made public highlighting the company's practices and decisions regarding content moderation, censorship, and the handling of high-profile accounts. Critics of Twitter's practices saw these files as evidence of bias, inconsistency, and overreach in content moderation and collusion with the government. When you piss off the biggest corporation in the world, aka the US government, you will be on their shit list, and that he was. Number 5, and here's the death nail. You send a tweet supporting an anti-Semitic message. I fully support free speech, But a big part of free speech is that you will be judged by the speech you make. The bigger influence and presence you have, the more careful you should be in making bold statements because you will be held to a higher standard. So there's no surprise that after he made what he called probably his most foolish tweet ever, more advertisers either halted their ads or left the platform completely. After this tweet, I thought he'd scale back things and disappear from the limelight for a while, but instead, our good friend Elon had a grand finale in store for us. While getting interviewed by Andrew Ross Sorkin, he told advertisers who didn't want to advertise on the platform anymore to go fuck themselves.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
But
go f*** yourself.
Yes, this was incredibly entertaining, and I love the drama of the situation. I love seeing someone stand up to corporate America, but as the owner of a $46.5 billion company that relies on corporate advertisers, it was incredibly foolish. Fast forward today, and Twitter is headed towards bankruptcy. The banks that lent him $13 billion have already written down their investments by as much as 50%, which is probably wishful thinking. By some estimates, the company is maybe worth $15 billion right now. First off, I'm a huge Elon fan. He's the GOAT entrepreneur in my eyes, but even Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or LeBron James had off games or off years. This was a giant L for my man Elon in my eyes. Also, Twitter was never a cash cow when he bought it. It only had 2 profitable years since its IPO. And now that he owns it, it's saddled with debt and debt payments and could be losing as much as $4 million a day. If it goes to bankruptcy, maybe he can renegotiate the debt, but he'll have to put up more of his own money into the company since it's unlikely he'll get more money from his rich friends given his conduct. Do I think he'll put in more money? I hope so. I really do. He's not perfect, but he's the only guy I know standing up to the establishment. I gotta root for a guy like that, even if he conducts himself like a jackass sometimes. Maybe he can save the company by officially removing himself from any meaningful role, but that's just not his character. History has shown us not to bet against Elon, but maybe this is the exception. If you enjoyed my video, please push the like button, and I wish you a great day. Thank you.